Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to DeveloperMaroof. In today's lesson, we'll learn about array iteration helpers like forEach, map, filter, and reduce. These are modern JavaScript methods that make working with arrays much easier and cleaner than our traditional loops. forEach is for performing actions on each element. Map transforms arrays, filter selects elements, and reduce combines elements into a single value. These methods are used everywhere in modern JavaScript, so mastering them is essential. Let's start coding. I've already created our HTML file. Let's dive into our JavaScript. So let's start with forEach. It's used to perform an action on each element of an array. Let me show you from the basic. Let's add forEach method basic forEach. Let's say const fruits is equals to apple, banana, and orange. So this is our fruits array. So let's apply our forEach method. Fruits.forEach. Inside these parentheses, we can have our arrow function. Inside that, we can add log. So for each element, we can have our fruit here. You can name an element anything. I am just typing here fruit because these are the fruits. So we are getting each element, which is fruit. So let me add a log. Fruit, comma. Let's save this and see our console. We have all three fruits here. So forEach takes a function that runs for each element. So the function receive the current element, which is this one, and this one as a parameter. So this function will run again and again until our all fruits or all values has been printed inside our console. You can see here. If we add another fruit here, mango, you can see it is also printed here. Let me show you our forEach with our index parameter as well. Okay, so let's add our fruits dot forEach, our method. Inside that, we can add our arrow function, and in these arguments or parameters, we can have our fruit, comma, index. So the second parameter, index, is the index of our current element. So let's add a log and see our result. Log. Let's add backticks. Inside that, we can add index, colon, dollar sign, curly braces, our index, and let's add a colon here, space, colon, and dollar sign, curly braces, our fruit. Let's save this. Let's comment this out. Okay, you can see we are having our indexes as well. 0, 1, 2 on 0 index. We have apple. On 1, we have banana. You can see our all elements are printed here in the console. And if you want, you can also use a separate function instead of an arrow function. Let me show you that as well. Let's say forEach with function declaration. You should have C declaration. Let's comment this out. Let's comment this out as well. And let's say function print item. And let's have our item inside this parenthesis, curly brackets, and a log here. Let's say item, comma, item. Save this, and we should have our fruits. So let's uncomment this again. And let's say fruits dot forEach. Inside our parenthesis, we can have our function. Let's save this, and now you can see we are having our items here. So if you want to write functions like this, you can do that. If you want to do it like this, we can do that as well. So what this fruits.each print item is doing, this is directly passing the function name as a parameter, like we are passing our each fruit inside this function, like here. So each fruits are printing in this console. So that's it for each method. Let's move on to our map method. Let's add map. So map transform each element and return a new array. Let's start with the basic one. Basic map transform each element. Okay, so let's have our array numbers is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save it. Semicolon. So let's transform this array by doubling it. Let's say const doubled is equals to our numbers array and dot map. So this is the method, and let's add our arrow function here. Let's get our each number. That's a num. Our arrow, if it's a single statement, you can do it like this without any curly braces. Let's say num multiply or asterisk 2. So each element or number will be multiplied by 2 and give us our result in a new array. Let's add our log So first, let's see our original array numbers, comma numbers. This is our original array. Save it. You can see we have our original array as it is. Let's add a log and see our doubled array numbers, comma doubled. Let's save this, and you can see map creates a new array with transformed value. The original array stays unchanged. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 because each element is multiplied by 2. 1 2s are 2, so that's why we are getting 2, then our 2 multiplied by 2, 4, and so on. So this is with numbers. Let me show you with strings. Map with string, let's say const names equals to Maroof, comma Ahmed, comma Sarah, and our semicolon. Let's say const, let me capitalize it, capitalized equals to names dot map, our method. Inside that we should add our arrow functions, and inside our parentheses we can get each name and our return statement because we are returning our value. Let's say name dot character 8. It's for which character we want to target. Let's say 0 index. So inside each element we have our 0 index. Like for this string, 0 index is this M, and A is 1, so we are targeting this first character, which is M, and for this we are targeting A, and for this we are targeting S. So that's why I have put here 0, so it will target our 0 index of each name. And for capitalizing it, we can have our dot to uppercase method. And if we save this and let's add a log, let's have our original names and capitalized names, and let's comment this out. Okay, now you can see our original names and our capitalized name. We are getting only our characters because we have returned only our 0 index character. For the full name, what we need to do is we need to add a plus for concatenation and say names dot slice. So the slice method, we already covered it in our previous lessons, you can check it out, and add 1. So this slice 1, so let's add a name, not names. So this slice 1 will slice each name from 1 index. Like it will remove our M and give us AROOF, and here it will remove A and give us remaining from 1 index till last. So we are getting AROOF here, and we are concatenating it with our M, which is our 0 index, which we made uppercase. So it will result in this. You can see now we have capitalized our names with capital M, capital A, and capital S. So that's it for map with strings. Let's comment this out, and you can do many things with that. You can map to create new objects. I'm not showing you objects right now because we haven't started our objects yet. We'll see what is object in our next lesson. So let me show you our filter method. Filter. So the filter creates a new array with only elements that pass a test. Let me show you how. So let's start with a basic filter. Basic filter keeps elements that pass test. Let's add a const numbers equals to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 10, and our semicolon. So with filter, let's make them or filter our only even numbers. Let's say const even numbers equals to numbers, which is our array dot filter. Okay, so let's add our arrow function. Let's get our num, and num, let's say modulus of 2, and will result in equals to 0. So this statement will get our numbers which are multiple of 2, and they will result in 0, which means even numbers only. So if we log this, our original numbers and our even numbers, let's save it. You can see our original array, original numbers here, and this is our filtered numbers. With the filter method, you can see we got only our even numbers because only these number passed our test, or you can say condition. So this is how filter method works. You can practice it with strings, which we have done here, and with objects and etc. You can do many things with it. Let's comment this out, and let's see our reduce method. So reduce combines all elements into a single value. Is the most powerful but also the most complex. Let me show you practically how it works. So let me show you basic reduce. That's sum of numbers. So let's say const numbers equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Save this, and let's add sum equals to numbers dot reduce method, and our arrow function. Inside these parentheses we have two arguments, which is accumulator and our current value. So this accumulator builds up the result, and this current value is our current value from our array, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Let me show you by the logs so you can understand better. Let's have our accumulator, accumulator, and this current value, and you can save it. We also should return it, our accumulator plus our current value. And let's add comma 0, so accumulator start with 0, and let's add logs outside as well. Let's add our numbers and our sum and save this. Okay, now let me help you understand this reduce. So right now we are having our original array as it is, so that proof that it is not modifying our original array, it is creating the new one. And in here we got 15. Why? Let me show you from the starting. So when first this arrow function runs, we got accumulator 0, because here we add 0. This is the value of accumulator, our initial value of accumulator. So right now it is 0 at the first time, and our current value is 1. You can see here we have 1, our current value. So then it will plus accumulator plus value, which will be 0 plus 1 will be 1. Then it will go here, it will store accumulator as 1. So it's just see this accumulator as a storage, like our results. So again it will run for our 2 element. Now here is 2, accumulator is 1, and current value is true, you can see. So when it returns 1 plus 2 is 3, then again it stores here in our accumulator, and then our third value is 3, so accumulator is 3 and current value is also 3, and 3 and 3 you can see here, and again it comes here, 3 plus 3 is 6, and accumulator will be 6, and our fourth value 4 here, 6, 4, you can see 6, 4, and when we plus 6 with 4, then we got 10, and 10 will be our accumulator. Then we have our last element, which is 5. So 10 and 5, 10 plus 5 is 15, and then when we print this sum, we got our result 15. I hope you get the concept of reduce, accumulator, and current value, how it works. If you want, you can change this value. Remember, this is initial value of this accumulator, so accumulator will start from 100. You can see here we got 100, then 1, then 100 plus 1 is 101, you can see, then 2, then 101 plus 2 is 103, and so on. We got 115. So I hope you get it. So try it your own, practice these methods. If you want, you can chain these methods together. Let me show you that as well. Let's combine these. Combining methods. Let's chain our map and filter. Let's say const numbers equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we have our result equals to numbers. First let's filter. What can we do? Let's get our even numbers. Let's say our arrow function, let's say same way, num modulus 2 equal 0. So this will get us our only even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And let's map those even numbers. Let's say dot map. This is how you chain methods. Then again we can add our arrow function here, our num, this number, and let's double each even number. Let's say num asterisk 2, and our colon. Let's save this. Let's add logs. Okay, now you can see our original number array, which is as it is, and our result. You can see it starts with 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Because we first filter our even numbers with this condition. Then for our even numbers, we map those even numbers by multiplying each of them with 2. Like 2 multiply 2 is 4. Then again our even number is 4, so 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and so on. So this is how you can chain each method. You can add reduce as well. So I hope you get the concept of these array iteration helpers. So that's it for today's lesson. You just learned about array iteration helpers, for each, map, filter, and reduce. So for each is for side effects and actions, map transforms data, filter selects data, reduce combines data. So these methods make your code cleaner, more readable, and easier to understand than our traditional loops. Practice with these methods. Try chaining them together to solve complex problems. In the next lesson, we'll learn about objects, properties, methods, and object literals. Objects are another fundamental data structure in JavaScript. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone learning JavaScript. Jazakallah khair for watching. Allah Hafiz.